Hey guys, what's up? It's Stricken06 of Stricken06.com, and today I'm actually making this video or vlog, whatever, while heading out to my lunch break. But I wanted to discuss something that just popped up on the car forums, and that is the topic of, hey, I got a new car. I just checked my oil. I'm in between an oil change interval, and I am low on oil. What's the deal? Is there something wrong with my car? And the short answer is no, there's nothing wrong with your car. Even brand new cars will burn oil. That's how they're designed to work. And it does that because of two things. One, the PCV system, especially today with turboed cars, they're running higher compression. They're going to leak some gases, or blow-by as it's called in the industry, past the piston rings and down into the crankcase. It's going to get down there, pressurize the crankcase, escape via the PCV system, which is the positive crankcase ventilation system, and out to be burned again through the intake manifold. But it will take oil vapor with it. So obviously if that happens a couple thousand times a minute, it's going to accumulate a decent amount of oil for you to notice on your dipstick. The other thing that contributes to oil consumption is today's extended oil drains. Because the older the oil, the thinner it's going to be, the more likely it is to vaporize or atomize, thus leading to more oil consumption. So that leads me to reiterate something I've said 100 times, and I'll say it again. It's, if you're going to go past 3,000 mile oil change intervals, you better be checking your oil once a month, because you will be consuming it and you won't realize that you might end up running out of oil one day, which is a really, really bad thing. You can basically say goodbye to your engine. You won't know until it's too late, until you're coasting off the side of the road and your car won't start ever again. So basically, let me repeat the key factors here. Oil consumption in new engines, normal. Oil consumption between oil changes, normal if you're going above 3,000 miles on your oil change. Even if you use synthetic, it's completely normal. If you use cheaper quality oils, they're going to have a little less additives, so they're going to break down possibly faster. Also, the time of year matters also, because the hotter the temperatures on the outside, ambient temperatures, the hotter your engine's going to run, thus the hotter your oil will stay, thinning out, staying in a thin state. And sorry, I had to let this guy pass me. But the hotter your oil is, the more likely it is to be in a thin state, thus possibly atomizing faster, which means basically less oil in your sump. So key factors here: once a month, check your oil, pull your dipstick out, make sure it's within the range, add some if you need some. Do not be shocked if it's low. It's totally okay, especially if you got a turbo car. You want to be on top of your oil like as if it's a newborn. It is extremely, extremely important to use super high quality oil. Be on top of the oil level. And if you live in hotter climates, you definitely want to reduce the oil change interval. I don't care what the bottle says. I don't care what the mechanic or tech or whoever says what, because they're not going to be the ones paying for your new turbo, and that's going to be thousands of dollars. A turbo spins over 100,000 RPM working lightly. If you really push on it, it's going to be working up to 200,000 RPM. Think about it. That is basically, you have a jet engine just working in a little different way. So be on top of your oil, maintain your oil level, use super high quality oil if you have a turbo engine. And so don't be shocked or alarmed if you have oil consumption. Now, if you got oil consumption to the point where you're blowing blue smoke out your muffler, whole different ball game. You better hit the dealer or mechanic ASAP. You're obviously leaking oil. Also, if you feel that your oil consumption is just all of a sudden way more than what you know is normal for your car, you know, you check it once a month, you know where it should be at this particular mileage, depending on the oil change interval. And different oils also will give you different types of consumption rates. You know, thinner oils will obviously burn off a little bit faster. Now, if you start noticing like, holy crap, this is serious, this is burning off way too much more than the last 2 years, for example, you might have a seal leak of some form that is contributing to further oil consumption than what is typically considered normal for your vehicle. I know my parents' car has a seal leak that's around the spark plug channel, and it's leaking into the combustion chamber because if you take the plugs out, they're soaked in oil. And the dealership told them, there's nothing wrong, everything's fine. Well, guess what? No, it's not. I don't buy it for a second. There's definitely a serious problem there that needs to be rectified. Dealership does not want to do anything about it. So yeah, that basically is all I wanted to talk about. And if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and place them down below, and I'll definitely answer as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. It's Stricken06 of Stricken06.com, and I'm out.